Hi, welcome back to my channel, and this is a sound off on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, The Reunion, Part 1. So everybody looked good. The only complaint I have is there was no theme. Initially, when I saw the looks online, I was like, I don't really like it. But sitting down, everyone looked good. I will say my least favorite looks were Erica and Dorit, which is crazy because they're wearing my favorite colors. So yeah, that was weird. No, I didn't really care for Dorit's dress. It was, I didn't know. I wasn't feeling it, but she didn't look bad. I would say my favorite look was probably Crystal's. I like Crystal's. I like the dress. I like the color. I like the accessories. She did that head to toe. I had to give it to her. Kyle's look was also really nice. I liked Kyle. I liked the rose gold pink. I liked her hair, the shoes, the accessories. Like, she did that. Garcelle's dress, initially I didn't care for it, but sitting down, she looked really cute. So she did say that it was a sitting dress. So there you go. Sutton's look was really cute sitting down as well. It suited her, and I liked the ponytail. She looked cute. Like I said, nobody there looked bad. Brenna's outfit was also really nice. The leopard with the accessories, the wig, everything was cute. You know, she's not my favorite person these days, but she looked really nice. I will give her that. So they started off this reunion a lot different than they normally do. But I mean, hey, sometimes you got to switch things up. They brought out Jamie Lee Curtis, and that was a cute little segment. It seems like she was really touched by Dorit's enthusiasm when she hosted the little luncheon at Kyle's house. And I mean, that was nice because clearly Dorit was starstruck and she was really a big fan. She also named the wind chimes after Dorit, which I thought that was really sweet. And you could tell that that meant a lot to Dorit. Like, she was holding back emotions. So as we know, a few weeks back, Garcelle's son was attacked on social media. There were some really disturbing things that were sent to this child, and it wasn't okay. Andy pretty much makes a statement saying, I know you guys love the housewives and sometimes you love to hate the housewives, but these type of things are not okay. And while I agree with Andy that sometimes the viewers take it way too far, and they do, I also feel like sometimes the castmates take it too far. I think that sometimes they incite some of this behavior and they egg it on. So they roll the package of Dorit and the aftermath of her robbery. A lot of the viewers question whether or not this robbery was real, if this was an insurance scheme. Why did the robbers agree to leave your phone at the gate? Dorit pretty much says that she's not concerned with what people think. She is just trying to heal and get to a better place. And I mean, I guess that makes sense. What are you going to do? Like, you know what happened? You were there. The rest of us were not there. Now, I will say, while Dorit was talking, at one point, Andy starts to yawn. And Dorit says, "Am I boring you?" And he's like, "Oh my God, I'm sorry." This is the second time in a row that Andy has done this to Dorit during the reunion. He did this last season, and last season it was worse. And this season might be worse because she's talking about something really, really serious, and that man had the nerve to yawn. Kyle manages to redirect the conversation to herself and let everyone know that the people who robbed her home reached out to her through her sister-in-law and said that they would give her back her stuff, that they were all, her things were at their grandmother's house or something like that. And pretty much they extorted them because they sent money and they never got their things. And Erica was like, "You did what? Why would you do that?" Like, I can't with Kyle. Move on to Crystal, and they run her package. And of course, we know she dealt with the eating disorder. I don't know how I feel about Crystal sometimes. Like, I want to like her, but there's something about Crystal that just doesn't feel genuine to me. When it came to the eating disorder situation, I was I was confused as to why she brought it up. I understand wanting to share your story and share your struggles, but I remember Crystal saying to the group of ladies that she doesn't feel like they are a safe space for her, that she can't be vulnerable with them. So I didn't understand why you would share something so, so serious with them if you already felt unsafe in their company or you felt unsafe expressing yourself to them. So that right there was kind of weird for me. I feel bad for Crystal because she's clearly still struggling with this, and it's not something that can just be fixed overnight. I feel like that maybe should have been a solo scene that she probably just, expressed to her husband, her therapist, someone else. I don't feel like that was something she should have shared with the group. Dorit does apologize to her, and I feel like the apology was sincere. So Andy brings up the dark comments, and Crystal is now saying that it wasn't one particular comment that made her feel the way that she did. It was the overall tone of the conversation that she had with Sutton that made her feel away. And Andy's like, well, you also came on Watch What Happens Live, and you said the jacuzzi story was not what you were referring to, that what you were actually referring to was even worse. And the entire group is confused. I will say this about Sutton. I definitely think last season she put her foot in her mouth. She was really ignorant to a lot of things. I think she has a better understanding of some of the things that she was saying, and she just wants to put this behind her. Sutton and Crystal are on a better path. They are friends. They get along. She doesn't want to rehash this, but the rest of the group is not relenting. They want to know what it is that Crystal was referring to. And Crystal, I feel like, I'm sorry, but Crystal, girl. Kyle also chimes in and she says, no, Crystal, you definitely said what Sutton said was so dark, I can't even repeat it. It's so bad. And now you're speaking like, oh no, what's the tone? It wasn't anything specific, but it was something specific according to you. You're changing your story. And it's like, nah, we got to get to the bottom of this. Andy's like, I need to know. Crystal's like, why can't you guys just let it go? Learn from this. This is my truth. Kyle is like, girl, your truth is a lie. Garcelle also wants an explanation because she says Crystal's statements made her question her friendship with Sutton. And we all know that Sutton and Garcelle have a very unique, special bond. It's usually the two of them against everyone else. You've told Garcelle several times that her friend has done and said something that would have her rethink her friendship. She wants to know what was said. And I think I definitely want to know what was said, but we're not going to get that out of Crystal. Crystal likes to speak in abstract. And I think she does that to get away with stuff. She's sneaky. I think where Crystal went wrong was when they were in La Quinta and Garcelle brought this up. She should have just said, you know what? That is old. That is in the past. Pretty much what she said at the reunion. I didn't know Sutton. I misjudged her based off of her putting her foot in her mouth. Now that I know her, I no longer feel this way about Sutton. We are on a better path, and I'd like to keep it that way. She should have said that, stuck with that, and that should have been it. But when she went back and said, no, more was said. There was a lot more said, and it was very dark. I think she messed up at that point. And I really feel like at that point, she was full of shit. Because if you can't tell us what was very dark, then girl, what? You can't make a statement like that and then go back and say, oh, nothing was said. It was just the overall tone. You're lying. You're covering your tracks. And this is why when you lie, you have to tell another lie to cover that lie, to cover the next lie. And somewhere along the way, you forget some of those lies. And then you look silly like Crystal was looking at the reunion. And see where Crystal also messed up when they were in La Quinta. Erica was very annoyed with Sutton. And she was gassing Crystal up to go against Sutton. But now Erica is on better terms with Sutton, but she does not like you, Crystal. And so now they're going to make sure you sit in that hot seat for a little bit. You see why you don't do clownery? As if all of that wasn't enough, they also bring up the 14 friends. And Crystal is pretty much trying to make it seem like the 14 friends are jealous of her because she's on the show and they are not. And Kyle was like, no, boo-boo, I know the tea. Don't try it. I know what really happened. She did not expect Kyle to call her out. And she tried to, look over at Rinna for some support and some help. And it's like, girl, Rinna's not really on your team. Her and Erica share a brain. And right now, they're not feeling you. So good luck with that. I don't know why Crystal would even try that because Kyle has this information Sutton has this information and Renna has this information. Now, Sutton, you don't really have to worry about, but Renna and Kyle, they're there to expose you. So be careful what you have to say. And I have a sneaking suspicion that maybe next season we'll be talking about these 14 friends again. Shoot, somebody might invite one or two of them to an event. So Diana joins the ladies virtually. She is at home because she says that she is ill. And Andy's like, well, you look really great to me. So Andy poses a question again and he asks Garcelle, did you at one point think that Diana was behind these bots that attacked your son? Garcelle says, yeah, I did actually. And Diana's upset with that answer. And she says, you must have a low opinion of me to think that I would bully a 14-year-old kid. Well, girl, I think we all have a low opinion of you because we all thought the same exact thing, girl. So Garcelle lets us know that after her son reposted the threat that dropped everyone's jaws, Diana took the time to send her a threatening text message. So apparently Diana wanted her name redacted from the post before them making it public. And it was like, girl, nobody was thinking about you. Like, hello. The fact that Garcelle even had to explain to them why her son was not thinking about Diana and how she was feeling at the moment. He was just reacting to someone threatening his life in such a racist way. I'm appalled by that. I was really annoyed that Garcelle had to explain herself like that. I didn't think it needed to be explained. Obviously, what happened was this child reposted it. He's 14 years old. He shouldn't even have to deal with nobody, threatening him like that. Like, what? That was ridiculous. Diana was saying, you could have penciled my name out. Garcelle is like, what? Are you serious right now? She explains again, Jax was not with me. I didn't post it. He posted it. He was at his father's house and he wasn't thinking about you. Kyle, I don't know why Kyle thought that Diana or Garcelle needed an interpreter, but you should have sat there and zipped it. Because she gets involved and she starts explaining to Garcelle that maybe you could have deleted it, removed her name, and then posted it again. And Garcelle sat up in her chair. Now, I don't know about y'all, but the way that Garcelle sat up in her chair, that is universal language for Black women especially, that you're about to get read. She said, you mean to tell me in the midst of me protecting my child, I have to go and save the rest of y'all? Are you serious? And then Kyle is like, me? No, I'm not saying me. And I'm like, at that point, Kyle, you're still talking. You're still running your mouth, Kyle. I'm not saying that. That's what Diana is saying. She didn't say that she didn't understand what Diana is saying. So why you decided to chime in is beyond all of us. Because what are you talking about, Kyle? She heard the woman very clearly. She did not misunderstand her. She heard what the lady said. And since you decided you weren't going to get involved, the way that Garcelle ate you up, it was well deserved. What they failed to mention is that the days leading up to this incident, Diana was on social media trolling Garcelle daily. I know she made a post that, Garcelle was mocking her miscarriage. She made several different posts harassing Garcelle the days leading up to it. So I'm not surprised that Garcelle thought you had something to do with it. Many of us thought you had something to do with it, Diana. Also, in the threat that Jax received, your name was mentioned. It said, leave Diana alone or we're gonna come for you. So that was much needed context. And instead of you calling Garcelle or texting Garcelle to say, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I heard what happened, giving her some type of support, you send her a text message threatening to come after her if anything happens to your children. I just feel like in the midst of everything that was going on, you send her another threat. I would absolutely think that you were behind those bots. I really would. Diana gets really upset and she starts explaining how her children were threatened and she takes threats really serious because of what she's been through in life and the country that she's from and everything that's gone on. And I understand that, right? I get it. But she says that her children were threatened as if Garcelle's son was not threatened. His life was also threatened. It wasn't just your kids. It was everybody was threatened. The conversation really is going nowhere. And Garcelle just says, you know what? I'm not going to talk to her anymore. Like, I'm just done talking to her. Maybe she doesn't understand what a knee to the neck means. I'm starting to think, like, and I don't even want to give her that, because we have this very beautiful gift called the internet. If you don't understand what something means, you could easily look it up. She keeps a lot of people around her. She has a full staff. You can easily ask one of them, what does this mean? So I can't even give her the benefit of the doubt that she doesn't know, especially since you've had so many instances of not understanding context. It's really funny that she thought that Sutton was clumsy with her words. And he says, well, if Diana was here, what would you say to her? And Garcelle says, I would like to know, why are you so obsessed with me? She's like, you're constantly online talking about me. You're constantly trolling me. Like, what is your problem? Why are you obsessed with me? And I think Diana says something like, well, because you're beautiful. And it's like, girl, that's weird. Like, it's weird. It really is weird, because I felt like Diana and Garcelle really didn't have that many moments during the season. It felt like Erica and Renna were drooling over Diana. Because Garcelle wasn't giving her that same energy, she took issue with that. And it's just like, Diana, girl, hang it up. Y'all not gonna be friends. And I don't know how they're gonna film together if Diana does come back next season, because this little situation is just strange. Like, I would really be freaked out by Diana at this point. Not to be a Karen, but goddamn, like, Diana, you did too much. I really cannot wait to see the rest of this reunion, because after all the antics that Diana did, I really want to see if her energy is going to be the same towards Sutton when they get into Diana and Sutton's beef. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, Beverly Hills did what needed to be done. This part 1 of the reunion, it was everything. It gave. It really did. They got down to some things. They really did. They wasted no time getting into business. So I can't wait to see part 2. I have a feeling that it's not going to be no filler episodes in this reunion. All parts of the reunion will give what it's supposed to give. Beverly Hills, y'all are doing y'all thing this season. This season was really great for y'all. I hope y'all keep this up. I didn't mention that Lisa Rinna brought an envelope. I'm guessing these are receipts. And I can only imagine that these receipts have something to do with her issue with Kathy Hilton. But we'll just have to wait and see what comes next. But please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Please help your girl out, okay? But anyways, thanks for watching.